A lot of black women, not all, have inferiority complex. Let's get into it. So one thing I noticed with the black women, a lot of black women, is that they fall to victim mindset. Not all, by the way. I won't repeat this at towards the duration of this video, so hope you keep that in your head. Anyways, a lot of them like to have a victim mindset when it comes to things. For example, black women always accept people when no one accepts us. We always take people when no one take care of us. We can't do this because no one finds attractive. I wonder if you find me attractive for a black woman, this and that and the other, this and the other. In reality, a lot of them keep themselves there. What I mean is, for example, let's start with what I just said earlier of that black women accept everyone, but no one accept them. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna hold your hand when I say this. Actually, I'm just gonna say it point blank. No one asked you to. And before you bring up slavery and whatnot, just know, no one right now is asking you to. People want you to because you fall rage bait into it. The reason I say that is, for example, you remember all those protests that's happening and whatnot, and how they told black people not to get involved because that how they basically rage bait for them to go out there so they could have a reason to hose or whoever down whatnot. And remember how they listen and it's been not like that. I'm letting you know right now, that's how it is for black women. You don't have to accept anybody. You don't have to. No one asked you to. And if someone gets upset because of that, let them. Like the freak. And another thing is that because of that, they get upset at others when they don't, for example, other black women that benefits from pretty privilege or whatever, and they don't have that experience. They get upset because they're they get not want to say upset, but more so conflicted. Because they're like, what do you mean you don't have that experience? What do you mean you don't have the struggles? And that's because some of them actually just forget it. They're like, okay, let them think what they think. Also too, another thing is when they said, oh, we're underappreciative, people make fun of our trauma or whatever. And I just realized the reason is not all. I think this may be one of the reasons. I don't think this is just the reason. I've seen so many people on TikTok and videos, by the way, who make fun of the movie Precious, The Color Purple, Tina Turner movie of What's Love Got to Do with It, and make a parody and laugh and joke about those black women that went through things, by the way. And by the way, if you guys don't know about anything in this movie, it's a traumatic movie that loosely kind of happened to black women at that time, and it's very traumatic. It's like one of those movies where you cannot watch, where you can only watch once because it's very traumatic. And because of people, especially in the black community, and you see black women and black men laughing and think it's funny when people make parodies of it, whatnot. And then other people outside of it, they're like, oh, they're laughing, whatnot. I think that's what I'm going to do. They get shocked when people do the same thing towards them, and they say, oh, that's racist, or that's me. No, they treat you how they see you treat yourselves. And yeah, and also too, I honestly believe that for me, and I already noticed it, where black women are going where they love, which everybody says so, period, thank God, because I realized that they always uphold black men even though they do them down and dirty, just for them to get nothing in return. What I mean by this is that I noticed that how, for example, and I want to make a video about fetishization of exoticals, but I noticed that how, for example, remember the movie Waiting for Excel, when he says he said to Robin Williams' character, that guy, when they was at the apartment, when he said, that scene where he's trying to throw something up here, she said, "You better not throw that up here." He said, "You raggedy," Anyways, if you don't recall the movie, in that scene, he basically saying how he's gonna leave her for a white girl because white girls do better when not, which is hierarchy thinking and disgusting. You still have Black women that say, "Oh well, we had to support them because they went through some things." Pete, I'm just gonna not hold your hand. Actually, blow my nose when I say this. Is that I don't even know why I said blow my nose. I'm sorry. That didn't make no sense. Anyways, let's continue. But it's that just because someone went through something doesn't mean they have the right to mistreat something else. It's usually people who, for example, on the scale, like in the United States, when black men was being oppressed by white people, instead of taking up to the white people, they started mistreating Black women. Why? It gives them a leg up. Well, if something gives you a leg up, a lot of people, and a lot of people won't admit this, but it's true, would use the leg up to get to where they want to go. And usually try to be like, "Oh yeah, well, we have something in common. We making fun of this person so I can fit in." I'm sorry, if a community did that to me, which it does to us as articles, which is why we make our own space, I would leave. And I'm glad that a lot of Black women are leaving and realizing and addressing these things, because it's really disrespectful. And I remember oh my gosh, remember last year how that one, what's her name? She's a Black activist. I remember she called out Black men. Remember that? Okay, you guys, please tell me you remember that. It was an old interview. And I remember she was a Black woman. And I remember when she died, people realized that she dated a white woman. And he's like, "Oh, she hates the Black community, or she should never talk and whatnot." I'm letting you know right now, if you go in your love, that doesn't mean you hate your Blackness. It just means you're tired of people putting you down and you want to go for someone to love you. I'm just letting you know that right now. Also, too, I realized that, and I will make a video about this. Black parents fail their children by installing hierarchy thinking within them. What I mean is this. For example, colorism, where they'd be like, "Oh, well, you're going to suffer a lot because you're dark skin." Why would you tell your child that? Always realistic thinking. You can be realistic without projecting. For example, you'd be like, "You know what, you're going to have tough times, but you're the most smart girl ever." You know what I'm saying? You see how that's realistic without projecting, "Oh, you're just going to have a hard time because you're dark skin. Oh, no one's going to find you attractive if you're dark skin." And they get upset when people bleach your skin. I'm like, yeah, you guys really project that much. I mean, if you told me, for example, like, let's say I was Black, and let's say that, like, man, like, you're going to have a hard time. Well, not say if I was Black, sorry. If I was dark skin. Like, if you told me I was going to have a hard time as a dark skin this, dark skin that skin, and other, and I bleach my skin, and I probably think about it, because it's like, okay, why are you telling me all the bad things? How about this? You can tell me without projecting that we're just going because we're ugly, because you're just another. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, like, would they be like, "Oh, well, like, she's a light skin," like, and how they trying to make it sound like they're evil and whatnot. And the crazy part is, like, I actually met kids who said those things. And I remember I said, "Why would you say that? Have you ever met one?" And they sit there in silence. They're like, "Oh, no, I said it because my mom told me." You know what I'm saying? It's installed within you so hardly. And sometimes they don't even say that. Like, for example, like, I remember when I was younger, how when we was how this one lady got cheated on. And I remember she said it was by a white woman. They say, oh, we hate that white devil. I'm like, isn't it just bad that he cheated on you in general? I mean, why it had to be just like horrific if it's a white woman? It's just horrific in general if it was with a woman. You know what I'm saying here? Or they'd be like, oh, well, white men, they know, black and white relationship work. You know how they fetishize the relationship rather than you actually loving it. By the way, I don't mind who people date or not. It just say I hate when they fetishize the thought of it to the point that they live vicariously. For example, like when they all of a sudden call Meghan Markle black. And when I remember specifically, they used to make fun of Meghan Markle. They'd be like, oh, well, she's white passing, or she hate her blackness, or here's that white. I remember that. And because they will live vicariously so much, they will say, even though the person say that there was mixed, they would say, well, we have a black woman now, and us white men that love us because of this and that, like, because they live in vicariously. Like, for example, they'd be like, oh, white men love us because we saw that white celebrity marry that black girl. We won. You see the thinking there? That's not good. I have more, but if you have more, please let me know, because I feel like there's so many projections and whatnot that stall this victim mindset with black women to the point that they actually think this way. And because of this, they project their insecurity. I will make other videos about this, as I feel like this is a topic that should be discussed, because I know there's some exoticals here who are black and they benefit from any of these, who don't have these struggles, but they seem to be projected upon them. Or you may be a black woman that left the black community because of this and more. I want to know your story. Let me know. Comment down below for more videos. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye, Exotical Barbies.